Welcome back to another episode of Half Court Trap. And we are here to talk about the playoffs. And we are up to the conference finals. Here back with our usual suspects, of course, on location. Got my man Jeff. What's good, man?
You move.
Your hair got longest hair since the pandemic started,
I
bro.
know, bro. I know. It's crazy. I wish my beard would grow that fast.
Your beard on like on super slow.
My beard on Chris Paul hairline. Like, gotta get a little dark. Like,
Yeah. Jordan, what's good, bro?
Yeah.
Yo, and Dave, how you feeling, man, David?
Awesome, yo. Great day today.
Hey, okay, all right, I hear you, man.
You gotta stay positive.
Yeah, so with that being said, Jordan, hope you can stay positive. First question, how disappointing was the second round loss for the Sixers, and who was the most to blame?
Damn, bro, you gonna ask that first? Like,
That's the first question, yeah.
damn. All right. Man.
You were just talking about it 2 minutes
I'm
ago.
saying, that was the first question. Oh, it was. Okay. You know what? All right. Damn. Okay. I mean, I think I don't know. Like, if you have people aren't going to blame Joel Embiid. The only reason why they're not going to blame Joel Embiid is because he had 2 injuries. However, when you come out there, game 1 and 2, you don't play. Game 3 and 4, you come out, you play well, we get you straight. You lose the MVP, you come out, no energy. Game 5, they play. They're following you. Your energy, your fire, they're following you. Game 5, lays an egg, not engaged. Game 6, lays an egg. Now you got the same injuries from game 3 and 4. You played just fine and we won. Game 5 and 6, you come out, no energy, flat. We take an L, you play horrible. Then in the press conference, you come in there, basically throw Harden under the bus, just like you threw Ben under the bus. Now Ben deserved Ben deserved that shit last year a little bit more than James Harden. But what did James Harden do that Ben didn't do last year in the fourth quarter? So if Joel made it play better last year, they would have won. This year, I think you got to put it on him. James Harden deserves blame 100%, but I would give more of the blame to Joel Embiid, just off the fact that in Game 5 and Game 6, he did not show up at all. Like, they were supposed to be statement games. You didn't get MVP? Okay, now you're supposed to show me why I'm supposed to be. Now you're supposed to show why you're supposed to get the MVP. If you want to blame it on Doc, go ahead. You know I don't like Doc, so I don't like Doc that much, but they all had blame, but the most I'm giving it to is Joel Embiid.
All right, well, I want to go to Jeff next, but before we do that, got a special guest in the building. We got Dave, your boy, who was also talking about your sons. Oh, he just left. Oh, he coming back. Don't worry about it. That was your boy Jason, though, Dave. He'll be back. All right, Jeff. Question: how disappointing was second round loss for the Sixers, and who was the most to blame for that?
So I mean, I think the expectation was too high, right? Anyway, right? I think the midseason trade, thinking that James Harden was going to be the James Harden, the Houston MVP candidate, that set the expectation too high. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give the blame to Doc Rivers, and I said this, and I say this with conviction. Having Embiid in the game, rounding out the Raptors, where he got injured, was a very big bad move.
You still back on that?
I'm telling you why. Listen, now I know many coaches do that in the NBA. If they're up big, they might ride their stars up until the 3 or 4 minute mark but you know what I'm saying? At this point, Doc has to know his personnel and know he got to often injure Joel Embiid and have to treat him with care because he's fragile. That point right there is, yeah, you up 20 or whatever, but that should be the point where you letting James Harden go bananas. You got one of the MVP candidates, but any moment he can get injured. Yes, I'm still on that because that really carried over into the second round series because, for one, Joel missed the first 2 games. He never was really himself again after that. And honestly, you know how they are in the league. They probably rushed him back through the concussion protocol. He probably still had the lingering injuries from the orbital fracture. So, again, he was never really 100% himself. And Joel Embiid is not like everybody else. Some people you could be like, look, give me an 80% this guy, and I'm still good. Joel Embiid at 80% ain't Joel Embiid. Like, he's somebody totally different. So again, and I'm gonna stick to this one. I put the blame on this on Doc because having him in at the end of that first round series, getting that orbital injury, that carried over to this. We never saw the same Joel Embiid MVP candidate player that we had throughout the regular season once he got that injury. He never recovered. And you know, like we already knew, and we discussed on this show plenty of times, James Harden wasn't who he was. His last, what do you say, Mike? His last 10 games in the NBA regular season? Trash. Like, so what was he expecting him to just turn it on once the playoffs came? We knew what we were going to get, even though his 20 points, 10 assists was more than Ben Simmons gave ever in his career at all, at any point. It just wasn't enough with the hampered Joel Embiid. So I'm still giving Doc the blame here because, again, that thing, it resonated from one series to the next. And at the same time, it created so much context to the series that, you know, you got to look back at the point where things started to change and become worse.
So for you, it wasn't disappointing because they shouldn't have expected anyway. Go for the second round.
Yeah, because I didn't. Once we realized what James Harden was, I didn't really have them getting out of the second round. Honestly, like I've been saying before, I was like, whoever, it was either gonna be the Celtics or the Bucks, which we'll get to later. But you know, like I said, I never really had the Sixers going to the Eastern Conference Championship. I knew their ceiling was the second round because again, they just don't have enough pieces. You got $180 million Tobias Harris, who averages 15, 16 points a game. Tyrese Maxey is mad inconsistent. Then you really have nobody else, honestly. So, you know, that's what
Let's talk about Joel. Okay. But I think it's so fragile thought. Talk about Embiid, I guess.
I would hope so, yeah, because he is fragile. He's off injured. Oh, yeah, right. He is. Why? I don't know. It used to be the diet, but now he is 7-foot phenomenon. Really, he's probably like a guard in a big man's body in some sense. So.
All right, I'm gonna go to Dave before I speak on this. Do you think the Sixers' second round exit was disappointing, and why was it? And who was the most to blame to you, Dave?
Yo, any exit in the playoffs is disappointing. I'm gonna start there. But theirs was, I would say, more shocking. I think you remember, I think I picked the Sixers to beat the Heat. Yeah,
you did.
I didn't think the Heat were gonna do them like that. I think the biggest player or the biggest person to blame, I think it comes in twos. I'm not going to say Embiid because Embiid was beat the hell up. All right. He had an orbital eye fracture. He had a finger. He had a knee. But he was all over the place. He did everything he could to put them on his back. They made a big trade early in the season, or late in the season, for Harden, who was supposed to, this is his job. When the main guy goes there, you're supposed to become main guy 1A. I don't know that you do that on 5 of 13 shooting and then 4 of 9 shooting. I don't know you do that. Harden, I think, shouldered most of his blame. He only had 11 points in the deciding game. He didn't really bring much defensively to the game at all. He wasn't getting in the lane. He wasn't getting to the line like old Harden used to. Partially because it's not old Harden anymore. I mean, it's not. It's
old Harden.
It's old Harden now. It's old Harden now. The old Harden. It's the current old Harden. So I think that's what we saw. And then obviously you got to blame Doc as well. I mean, I know they say don't blame the coaches, and the coach did a good job and all this and all that. But talent will make a coach look good. That's one thing I've always found out. I've never seen a guy win Coach of the Year with 12 bums. All right, so he's always on some stacked team, always on some roster that's been putting up points and has dominant stars. But some of this has got to fall on him because it's the coach's job to get the most out of every player on the floor. And he obviously did not get the most out of Ben last year, and that he obviously couldn't get the most out of Harden this year. So if there's anyone to blame, it's got to be them two. But if I had to blame one over the other, it would definitely be Harden over Doc.
All right, and just to get some more insight, he did make it back. Special guest, we got Jason. What's good, man?
I'm here, baby. It's still messing up in my ear. I'm about to get it on my laptop instead. But what's going on, fellas? Good to be here with y'all for sure.
Jason,
welcome.
Man,
what up?
Welcome, man.
Everybody except for that bitch ass Suns fan over there in the upper right hand corner.
Yo, it's okay to call this dude a motherfucking bitch. All right, he ain't gonna do nothing. So just refer to Jason as the bitch for the rest of this episode.
Do we need some gloves here, fellas?
Right, we got a referee.
Do we need gloves, Mike?
I'm happy to be here with everybody except for that bitch ass nigga right there.
He lucky I don't want to spend gas money to drive all the way over to his house and beat his ass. You know, if gas was under $4, your ass would be fucked. That's all I'm saying, bro.
I ain't got to worry about there then.
Shit.
Well, Jason, if you can hear us, man, we just were talking about the before we get to the Suns later on, we're talking about the Sixers and their loss.
He's saving it like it's the best Christmas present and shit. He got the big Christmas present under the tree. You gotta say that one for last.
Wait. Who's Jason's team?
I'm a Spurs fan.
I'm a Spurs fan.
Okay.
I
Get that
I know this is the wrong show, but I see that emblem in the corner. Wrong show, but
yeah, I know. I apologize. I'm a Cowboys fan, unfortunately.
Jason Spurs fan. So who would you say the most is to blame for the Sixers loss in the second round, Jason?
Honestly, I put this blame squarely on Harden. To be honest with you, I feel like, and I'm not saying it's 100% his fault because I think health is a big issue with it, but I just feel like in a closeout game, and you take 2 shots in the second half of a game where it's still hanging in the balance. The game was still close at that point in time. And for you to only attempt 2 shots, I think there was a stat out there that this man hasn't taken 20 shots since he got to Philadelphia. And I understand a lot of people are looking at Houston James Harden as opposed to what he is now, which is more of a facilitator role. I don't want to blame the coaching staff because I feel like maybe time in the offseason to kind of build that chemistry. Someone made a good point. Unfortunately, it was Patrick Beverly with all the nonsense he's been spewing over the last couple of days. But but there was one good point that he made where James Harden has never played with a ball dominant big before, which Embiid is. He's never had that type of player that he had to play in kind of, I guess, more or less work schematically into. So a situation like that, I'll give him a pass on that. But you have to be James Harden and take over. And even Embiid said it at the end of the press conference where he threw him under the bus, like he does everybody, by the way. But he threw Embiid, he threw Harden under the bus and said, I thought he would be more aggressive. He was looking. He said to the media, like, I'm looking. Everybody's expecting him to be Houston James Harden. He may not be that. He's not that person anymore, or whatever. So I put it on James Harden because I feel like Harden could have stepped up, especially in the 2 games where they got blown out. Obviously, when B didn't play because of that and all that stuff. So I'm putting it on Harden.
Okay. I think it wasn't. I'm with Jeff. I don't think it was disappointing to me because I didn't expect him to go that far anyway. Jeff had the Heat in the second round. We did. Yeah. And as far as the blame, I mean, definitely some Doc got to go in there, like y'all been saying. I can't blame Embiid. Embiid was hurt, and he did his best, I feel like. And I'll put a lot on Harden as well. But I think I go back to Daryl Morey, really, honestly. I think it was a bad trade from the beginning. So I don't think Harden is what he's used to be. Y'all better have him for like 3-4 more years. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. I think Maxi's still up and down right now. So I feel like that y'all just in a bad place. Unless you could trade Tobias. You trade Tobias and get something back for him. That'd be the only way y'all get out of this place to me.
I disagree with you with that, though, honestly. I think Harden at 20, 10, and 8. I think if once he learns how to integrate himself with that, that's serviceable, man. Like, real talk. Let's keep it real. So, like, if he's going to consistently give you that.
When is he getting to 20? And number one, he's going to do it in the playoffs. That's the key.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on. To Jeff's point. To Jeff's point, right? Well, and to Jason's point too, right?
Yeah.
When Embiid came out and said, well, everybody expected him to be the same James Harden, but clearly he's not that player. You already knew that. Clearly, you already knew that.
Who knew that?
We didn't. Nobody knew that.
Nobody knew that.
It was
right. Nobody knew that.
Nobody knew that. They thought Brooklyn was because he was playing with Kyrie.
Jeff, after the first 3 games with the Sixers, everybody started to say, I started to say, oh shit, he don't look too right.
What? He was killing the first
No,
4 or
he
5
was
games.
killing them the first week. That first
Bro.
week he was in Philly, he was killing it.
Killing them.
Look, it was 2
Yeah,
games.
he had everybody top the title.
It was 2
Right.
games. It was
Kobe
2
and
games
Shaq
against
shit.
the Knicks, and it was 1 game against the T-Wolves. He was
Yeah.
lighting them up. It was against the Knicks and the T-Wolves. After that, everybody kept saying, "Oh, he's not looking too good."
Yeah, after that, for sure.
After
Yeah.
that, for sure. So,
Mhm.
Joel, you knew that. You saw that. That was clear. Now, yeah, you got hurt. You missed the first 2 games. Then what happened? You come back, game 3 and 4. Just your presence on the floor alone clearly made the team better. You win
Right.
2 straight. You come out game 5, not even there.
I think that's what he meant, though. I
Yeah.
think Joel meant he wanted Harden to step up and be
He
more
wasn't
aggressive,
healthy.
knowing Joel was hurt.
What you say, Jeff?
I think Joel was saying like he expected Harden to be more aggressive, knowing that Joel was hurt.
That's so. All right, you wanted to be the MVP. What did Giannis just do? Giannis is the MVP. Lost Chris Middleton. What did he do? They lost, but what did he do?
He wasn't hurt.
Up. He stepped up. He was hurt in game 3 and 4, and they won.
But you act like he scored 30 and got 25 rebounds. He had a regular pedestrian type game.
Bro,
You got like Miami can't make adjustments after 3 or 4
but,
too.
but bro, I can tell just even like defensively, like they weren't engaged, bro. Game 5 and 6, they had no energy. They weren't engaged.
Bro, he was playing with real pain in his face, bro. Like,
Yeah, you can see it.
And a torn ligament in his hand. Like, come on,
All
bro.
I know is that was not the Embiid that I watched all season.
Not at all.
Straight up.
I would be the first one to say the last like 2-3 years, right? Sometimes people will try to blame Embiid for shit like that. Like, nah, hell no, he's the best player. Look what he's doing, right? He's always hurt. But we have to look at him now and be like, this is the guy. Like he's always hurt. He's blaming everybody else.
No, he wasn't really hurt. He wasn't really hurt
bro.
this season until that concussion, yo. Yeah.
You're not getting no argument out of me. Cause I ain't gonna lie, yo, he like his snitch, man. Like if you bring him in for questioning, he'd be the nigga in the room with the cheeseburger and the fries and the soda and shit.
He will snitch. He will snitch. That's not the question, though.
And another thing. That nigga fell so many times in game 6.
Yeah,
yo,
he
that
fell a
nigga
lot.
One more time, yo. I was pissed. Like, yo, this nigga on the floor every minute.
I said that to Jordan. That's why he was on the floor, yo.
Bro, I just can't give him a pass no more. Like I was giving him passes. He can't catch no pass no more on this. Because you didn't, huh?
You drunk.
Bro, come on. If
He
you
was
was
hurt,
that,
bro.
Why you come out 3-4? Honestly, why you come out game 3-4?
He's hurt.
If you was hurt, why you even play?
He tried to
Because
help
him
him,
girls
but
better
Because
than-
he's playing Philly, that's why.
That's what
He's playing
motherfuckers
Philly. He had to come out.
Yo, Jordan, that's what players with heart do, bro. All right.
Bro,
When the
heart.
season's on the
Niggas
line,
that play
when the
You
season's
know
on the line
Philly
and they
fans wasn't
banged
gonna
up,
let him
bro.
play.
Bro,
I agree with Dave.
players with a heart when we're like, yo, I'm playing. Fuck that, yo.
I would agree with you to that, but
We're not talking about Melo with a stomach ache here. All right, we're not talking LeBron with a fucking little sore ankle here, or Russ with a magic shoulder that magically appeared here. We talking Joel Embiid like a real player.
A 7 foot.
He's been the face of that franchise for like the last 4 years. He's gonna put them on his back even if he's injured. Because the last thing you want to hear is that he was weak and he didn't want to play.
I think Jordan mad because he didn't bang the post enough for him. Took too many shots and stuff.
When you're beat up, yo, you gotta manage minutes.
That's so regular, Mike. That was before he got hurt. That was part of the reason why he probably didn't play that well. But I don't know, bro. I don't know if I can keep giving him a pass, Jeff.
All right, well, Jeff, you blame Doc a lot. So next question I got for you guys: should Doc have been fired or given one more year with a whole year with James Harden? What do you think, Jeff?
I'm gonna give him another year with James Harden, and listen, and not just with James Harden, but I'd like to see how he helps Tyrese Maxey progress next season. I like to see what he can do with that, and I like to see him have Tobias Harris get to more of that Clippers Tobias Harris vibe. He ain't got to give me 20, but he got to have some nights where it's like, yo, Tobias, go to work. It's your guy, and he did that with Doc. So now that he's got Doc another season, I want to see what Maxey does, and I want to see how he incorporates James Harden. So if he doesn't get it done this year, I'm really, you know, that you gotta let him go after this year, but gotta give him at least one more year.
Dave, you disagree?
I mean, Doc's been in Philly a while now, man. It's been past time for him to shit and get off the pot. And
Damn, how many seasons was he there?
I mean, nah, bro.
It's only second season.
This is going
like
to
this is only his what? Is this second year?
I'm about to say
Yeah.
this is the end of his
Oh,
second
then-
season.
third year.
My bad. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking there. In that
Easy.
particular case, then I think he deserves another year. If he's only been there 2 years, he deserves
Listen, I
another
wanted him
year.
fired too, bro. It's okay. I wanted him fired too.
You want to fire
Yeah.
Jordan?
I wanted him.
I mean-
Yeah.
I mean, yo, because
The prisoner of the moment.
yo,
Not really,
Harden's gonna
because,
be another
Emin,
year. Hold
I ain't
on,
gonna say
Harden's
that
gonna be
because-
a year older.
Jordan then wanted him out before the playoffs even started. They said Doc should be on after this season.
Yeah, I did. I definitely did.
But nobody even expected them to get where they want after all the melodrama they had all season. They really, if they were like another team, they would have tanked.
You think so?
I mean, because look, they had the Ben Simmons bullshit all season.
Hell no.
Then
Yeah.
you got the half-ass James Harden. Like,
Well, the Ben Simmons shit,
over.
I ain't really blame Doc for that. I blame Ben for that.
No,
Like, you could be a great coach and teach somebody how to do it, but if somebody just don't want to do something, they're not gonna do
What
it.
I'm
That's
saying
that.
is the organization had to go through that drama.
yeah.
I'm not saying Doc did anything wrong. I'm saying the team itself had to go through that drama. There's not a bunch of leaders on that team to say, yo, this guy rallied the troops and got us going in the right direction.
The only real reason why he is getting a pass to come back is probably strictly from the fact that Joel Embiid was hurt and that James Harden was acquired halfway into the season.
That's another
That is
reason.
the only reason why he's getting a pass. If this went through in it like next year, if they don't at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, fuck that. Finals. He's gone. He's gone. Because Mike, like you said, before all this shit happened, I'm like, nah, I'm not feeling Doc. I'm not feeling it.
Well, what team is getting worse that's going to clear the way for the Sixers?
None. That's what I'm saying. It's
I
crazy.
mean, I was with you. I was with you on the fact that they can run it back. I think in this playoffs, this is the best that Tobias Harris ever even played with the Sixers, in my opinion. Offensively and defensively. He needed to change his game. His game before this was, paint, mid-range. He's starting to become a better catch and shoot guy, which is what we need. If he add that to his game, he's more valuable to us on the offensive end. He stepped up on his defense. Maxey got to improve, and James Harden probably needs a full year to get ready.
I'm gonna get to this.
Well,
Let me. Jason, what do you
I
think,
also
man?
want to see what he does with Matisse Thybulle too. He got to get him to somewhere because he was terrible.
I would say no. You can't fire Doc. And I'm gonna look at it from a different perspective, from an ownership perspective. You don't fire Doc Rivers because at the end of the day, the Lakers are looming to hire him anyway. So I'm gonna keep him and get some draft compensation for him. If you trying to get him, I ain't gonna put him out there to pasture or whatever, so that way he get picked up on the unemployment line for pennies on the dollar. Nah, I'm gonna keep him and hold on to him so that way the Lakers got to pay.
Yeah, the Lakers will give you the 2048, 2049, and 2050 first round picks for him. Yeah.
Don't worry, Dave. Your time is coming. Anyway.
I feel like but honestly, from an honest perspective, no, you don't fire him because he would have got fired if they wouldn't have got out of the first round against Toronto. He definitely was gone if they didn't get out of that shit. But you can't move the timeline now. Well, you ain't get out the next round, so we gonna fire your ass. I mean, we already know. Like the Sixers, how many times they getting out of the East? They ain't getting out of the Eastern Conference. So next year they ain't getting to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals. They ain't getting any close.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
gonna be honest with you. That's just what it is. I'm tired. Like, what was they calling it back in the day? Trust the process or whatever.
Yeah, right.
That shit done.
Yo, Jeff, I don't know what you like. I mean, yeah, I definitely would keep Doc just only because he only had a half a year with Harden just to see what he could do. As far as Maxey is concerned, Maxey's ceiling is Lou Williams. Like he's not gonna be the superstar.
That's not a bad ceiling, bro.
Whoa.
That's not a bad
Whoa.
ceiling.
Williams?
Whoa.
I mean, that's not bad.
Whoa.
It's not a bad
but
ceiling.
That's
bro.
disrespectful as
Bro,
shit.
watch him. He don't do nothing else. He don't get no assists.
All he do is score. Yeah,
It's Lou Williams. That's what I'm
that's
talking
not a bad ceiling
Yo.
though. They're not asking him to be a star.
Yeah, it's not a great defender. He's Lou Williams, basically.
That's not a bad ceiling.
It's not a bad. So, but Lou Williams 6 man. You know what I mean? Like
Then that's what the Sixers need because the bench was terrible.
They was.
Who they gonna start? Yo,
They was.
Yo, I mean, I don't know, but I was saying this earlier this season that Maxey should have came off the pine because he was scoring punch and they had nobody.
you're out of pocket, bro.
Nah, Doc had Lou Williams and he had Jamal Crawford before.
Crawford.
That's who Maxey is, bro. Jordan, I'm telling you, I don't know what you think he is, but
He's not. Yo, first of all, it's funny. It's funny, right? Y'all laughed at me when I first said bring Maxey off the bench when they first got the trade so we could have a scoring punch off the bench. But he's shown he could be a starter. He played better defense than Lou Williams. Stop playing.
what?
Yeah.
What?
You know, sweet Lou don't play no damn D.
Yo, come on, man. Lou Williams?
Maxey don't be getting cooked though. I'm just saying.
No, he don't be getting cooked. No, he
Bro.
don't be getting cooked, bro. What?
Yo,
He's just a warm body.
his size alone why he get cooked. I'm sorry, bro. He's Lou Williams.
No,
Actually, they
he
kind of look like they could be, family or something like that. The way they built. I'm telling you.
Out of here, bro.
I don't
Hey,
know.
wait, real quick though, did anybody say what happened? What's up with Danny Green now that Embiid fell on his legs? He
He got
shit
an
ACL.
look like
Yeah,
the chicken wings from the Chinese spot.
Yeah, you got an ACL.
It don't even matter. He
was trash too.
Yo, he was. Yo,
He was-
Danny
he was
Green
dumb,
ain't
fucking
the
dump
dumpster
truck.
he was
Yo,
put up,
Jeff
yo.
got a whole point though, bro. If they get a solid starter, I'll bring Maxey off the bench for that score.
And let him light it up.
Yo, he can be Tyler Hero.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, right. If we get a solid starter, who would that starter be?
I'll say get one. You ain't got him now. Nigga.
But
Yo,
no,
get-
hold on.
Bro,
It's
Maxey
really
is a-
contingent on the
bro.
offensive philosophy.
I can't
Like
believe-
if Thibault gets better at shooting like 3 and D, you can play Harden, Harris, Thibault, and B and somebody else. Because you got scores on top and bottom, and then you got other guys that shoot the 3 in the middle, and you could bring Maxey off the bench. But again, we got to see progression in his game, and that's why I said if Doc is a
You're
true
gonna bring
leader.
Maxey off the bench. The starter would have to be a 20.
Nah, you don't need
No,
that,
he
bro.
won't. No, he
Nah,
won't.
bro. Maxey ain't that. What the fuck? Like,
Bro, Maxey averaged 17. He averaged 17.
Bro.
Lou Williams, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Bro,
Just
17
because he
years
don't start won't
starter.
mean he doesn't
Bro,
see
he
a lot of
gotta
minutes.
Yo, y'all gonna eat these words up. Fucking- that's no disrespect. Lou Williams.
Bro.
I get Lou Williams 6-man score, but that's all he did. Maxey is more than just a scorer, bro.
What
Well,
else
we'll
is he,
see
bro?
He plays better, bro. He plays on both ends
Anyway,
of the floor, bro.
Jordan, yo, I'll never listen. I'll never steal you wrong, bro. But you'll never listen to me. But you gonna see. All right, moving forward. How impressive was the Bucks? I'm sorry, the Celtics went over the Bucks. Let me start with you, Jason. What do you thought about that series, bro?
I don't think it was all that impressive. I think they did what they were supposed to do. Technically, I mean, from a record standpoint, they were the better team anyway, right?
No, they was
Yeah.
tied.
So
Yeah, they
their record was tied, but they had the tiebreaker, so
Yeah.
they had home field.
But they
home
had to go
court.
to the 5th tiebreaker scenario to see who was the 2nd or 3rd seed.
That's crazy.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah. So I mean, but from a perspective, I will say what was impressive was Game 6, forcing the Game 7 to go back to Celtics. So winning the series really wasn't that impressive. I felt like the Celtics, to me, seemed like they had the advantage anyway with without Chris Middleton available to play in the series. So without him, I felt like the Celtics were doing what they needed to do. They got the defensive player of the year. They got Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown when he want to show up and play or whatever the case may be. But I think the Celtics to me were the better team in this series. They showed early, and obviously Milwaukee, was impressive. Obviously winning on their home floor in Game 2. It was a good series. That was a really good series. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a really good series, but I feel like the Celtics did what they're supposed to do. So
Well, let me talk to somebody who picked the Bucks, Dave. How impressed were you that the Celtics won that series?
Very impressed. Team defense was way better. I didn't watch a lot of Boston games during the season. I'll tell you that. I'll be honest. Seeing how their team defense actually operated was very good. Watching them lock Giannis up, try to lock Giannis up, was crazy. I think the key factor in that was losing Chris Middleton, though. That was huge. Everybody's saying like everybody's talking like the Celtics beat the Bucks straight up, and they did. I mean, but you got if there's a stars injury in there, you got to be like, hey, he was missing, but they still won. Milwaukee, as we all know, never really had a good bench like that. I never thought Milwaukee's bench was all that to begin with. And I think that's where Boston beat them is once they lost a star, they became that just Giannis and a bunch of guys group. And those Bucks don't beat nobody. So yeah. I was somewhat impressed, like I said, with Boston. They're not my championship pick, but
we'll get to that.
They very well could be, yeah.
How about you, Jordan? How impressed were you with Boston winning that against the Bucks?
No, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Dave on that. I think I picked Bucks in 7 as well, right?
You did, yeah.
Pick Bucks in 7.
I'll be right back.
I thought that they were going to be able to get it done. I didn't not to say I didn't believe in Boston, but it was just the series against the Nets. I'm like, okay, it's the Nets, and I know I picked the Nets to even win that series. And then looking at the first 2 games, I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh my God. But I mean, to me, it was impressive because I thought that Milwaukee, just based off of experience, I thought they're pretty deep to me, off the bench. I think it was more so just them not having Middleton killed them, and I mean they got close. I mean, Game 7 without your other All-Star, you know what I mean? So I was impressed.
All right, Jeff, can you talk yet?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, another person who I know picked the Bucks and rolled with them all the way through. How impressed were you with the Celtics won the series?
Well, so I mean, look, I'm with Jay. Not impressive because they did what they were supposed to do. You got a 2-star team. One of the stars is down. And like he said, I agree in another sense. Game 6 was the one where they really showed me, like, damn, the Bucks might be in trouble. I anticipated Drew Holiday giving more, but it just proved again that he's never been like more than a third option. He's not your second guy you want to try and lead the pack. Look, Giannis put up monster numbers, bro. Like, undeniably, his progression and like him getting his numbers is crazy. He's definitely top 5 in the league without any doubt in my mind at this point.
Top 5.
Never in question. He's got to be. Look what
I'm saying he hired it. The best player in the world.
2, 1.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's so much debate. It's the debate changes every week. So either way, like I said, the Bucks. I thought they would be able to do so. Like Jordan just said, with their championship pedigree, their wherewithal from doing it last year. I thought that they would carry over and resonate with some of the players, but it really didn't. Brook Lopez, he was a shell of himself from last year. I know he was injured. Ibaka was basically a pointless ass trade at this point. George Hill was terrible. Like I said, Drew Holiday shot terrible the entire series. 5 for 15, 5 for 20, 10 for 25. He never had a consistent, efficient shooting night. Now, he did fill up the stat sheet some days with like rebounds and assists, but they needed more from him. So again, impressive. I'm going to say yes, but at the same time, I'm going to say no, it wasn't impressive. They did what the hell they were supposed to do, but they did knock off the reigning champs. So I got to give them some credit there.
Yeah, I was. I'm impressed only because they beat, to me, the best player in the world, Giannis. So and what how they helped, how they made him less efficient. I was impressed by that. The Bucks are missing. Middleton was a big miss, obviously, but the loss of PJ Tucker stuck out to me in these playoffs, and he's doing it big for Miami right now. And that's that other big body, to go along with Bobby Portis and Giannis, stuff like that. PJ is key, and he plays defense on the team's best player. So I feel like that was a huge loss. Obviously, Middleton for the scoring. I do think Lopez is getting worse as he's getting older. They might got to do something about that. He couldn't even play in certain games or certain fourth quarters. So I feel like that's bad. But I think Boston grew up a little bit in that series to me, even though it is their third Eastern Conference final like the last 5 years, which is crazy if you think about it. They said the Sixers can't get there at all, but that's another story. But but I do feel like grew up. Now, the question is Jason Tatum, how high is he? Is he a top 10 player, Jeff, to you now, Jason Tatum, or what would you say?
Listen, I disagree with Jay and I disagree with Jason in one aspect. Jaylen Brown had some real impressive games, bro. He showed up that series. Like 30-point games, like 5 for 5 from 3, 20-point games, 20.8 assists, 8 rebounds, like real stat filling games. So I don't all give this all to Jason Tatum. I think if it wasn't for Jaylen Brown, they might not have got this done. If we were looking at the old Jaylen Brown, they might have really not got this done. But this Jaylen Brown that I saw in the last 7 games against the Bucks, that was a different animal. And I hope that he's going to continue, because if he does, that tandem right there, man, you might write them in the playoff bracket every year for the next couple years, bro, because they it. And then listen, probably nobody's gonna remember this, right? But I'm gonna pat myself on the back, give myself some credit. Grant Williams is crazy, bro. He like the ultimate 3-and-D. Like that's the guy that you need to get you buckets and play defense on the best player on the other team. Might not lock him down, but he definitely is gonna play solid defense. He might be the new PJ Tucker.
Okay. So again, how about you, Jason? Is Jason Tatum top 10? I mean, right now. Yeah.
Top 10, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna say from a standpoint of, because I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. What he's done in the playoffs, I want to look at the full picture. Top 10, as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of this is subjective to who we're talking about. Like, we're talking about healthy players who are coming off an injury.
Not all players, yeah.
Just if we're talking top 10. Matter of fact, I got to go to my list because I think I even constructed a list. I know Kevin Durant, Giannis. I'm putting Jimmy Butler in that conversation, probably in the top.
You put Jimmy over to Tatum?
Yeah.
Okay,
Luka.
all right.
I don't know about that part, but okay.
What?
I don't know about that part.
Here's the thing. Okay, like from like here. All right. Here's what I did say. From a standpoint, I say he's not yet, but from a gauntlet, if he completes the gauntlet of Kevin Durant, Giannis, Jimmy Butler, Luka, Steph, if he gets through all of them,
you got to do all that. To make top 10.
Right now he done got through Kevin Durant, and he put Kevin Durant in the chokehold.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he get through Giannis, he get through Jimmy Butler. If he can get through Luka, Steph, whoever going to be in the Western Conference, it's going to be Steph. I ain't going to lie. I'm sorry, Luka. I love you, but it's going to be Steph. But yeah, regardless of the fact, if he get through that, I might have to put him up there. But for now, he top 15, but I don't know about top 10. Because you got people like Kawhi, who we forgetting about. I know he'll never play. And I hate him because he left us. So I hate him, but he's still a top 10 player. I'm sorry. When he's healthy, he's top 10. Dame Lillard, I put him in. So I mean, and you know the normal people that's going to be up there in that top 10 that's going to be in front of Jason Tatum. So I don't know if he's 10. He might be 12, 13, but I don't know about 10.
So you agree, Jeff? Not 10, 12, 13?
Yeah, about there between 10 and 15. It's hard to really place him right now. I know I don't want to be a prisoner in the moment and say he's like 11 because I know some great players. And like Jason said, we out of sight, out of mind right now. We're not even thinking about Kawhi. We're not thinking about Paul George. We're not even thinking about Dame Lillard. Like it's so many other players that we just
even Anthony Davis.
We can't make that moment right now.
Like Anthony Davis, he's top 10.
How about you, Dave? Is Tatum top 10 to you? No, we can't hear you, but I'm gonna get you saying no.
My bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to no mute. That's definitely not. He's not a top 10. I can think of 10 guys easy off the top of my head that are better than him. Then we have to round out the next 10 and see if he fits into that group. I'm not because you know what it is. He plays in such a system that it's not made. That system is not made to like make a star stand out above everybody else. They play as a team. When guys play as a team, it's hard to pick out who the actual star is. Like it was like I think Toby was saying about Jaylen Brown. He disagreed with Jason about Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown has had some blow up games. Has helped Tatum out when Tatum couldn't get it done, and that covered Tatum not getting it done. So if Tatum didn't get it done a game and Jaylen went for 30 and they won, it still looked like Tatum had a good game because the Celtics won. And I think that's what a lot of people's perceptions are tainted by. But pound for pound on the court, no way. He ain't top 10 yet. He's probably on his way, and he probably could be one day, but not today. That day ain't today.
What you say, Jordan?
I mean, I used to be like, nah, I don't think he was there yet. I don't know. I don't know. The way he's played in this playoffs, I mean, I might have to give him some props. I might have to put him in the mix.
I'll be right back, yo.
All right.
Yeah, Paul George, Damian Lillard.
Let me ask you this: do you have Tatum over Jimmy, or Jimmy over Tatum?
I misspoke. I don't think Jimmy Butler is better than Jason Tatum. I misspoke.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that back. Don't even worry about it, Jordan. You don't have to answer the question.
Because, I think he's in the top 10, man. I mean, all things considered, all things equal, everybody healthy. I don't really know how you can't
Put him in there.
I mean, like, if
You sure? You gotta think of that list now, Jordan. There's a list.
Where I got if all things the same, we right, all things equal, we talking about right? Giannis, Durant,
Bron.
Bron. We talking about Embiid, right?
Yeah.
Jokic.
Kawhi.
You think he better than Steph?
Nah, Steph in. That's 7.
Steph. All right. And then
you got LeBron in there.
Luka 8.
Damn.
You got KD in there?
He said KD already.
He did,
Okay.
right? I don't know,
Got
man.
Dame.
You look like we putting Dame in there right now. We putting Dame in there too, still.
Dame
No,
Lillard
no.
not top 10?
He got to be top 10, yo.
No, man. I might take Tatum over Dame right now,
I'm
bro.
glad to take Dame.
Yeah, but that's
Dame
prisoner of
right
the moment because Dame is somewhere in Cancun.
Dame wasn't playing good when he was playing this year, bro.
I mean, this team.
We talking 1 year. We talking
Ja
a body
Morant?
of work.
Ja Morant.
Like, I might be taking Tatum and Ja over
At the last 2, right?
PG and Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
No Kyrie.
Nah, hell no.
Nah, Kyrie not.
Kyrie out.
Yeah.
Not right now. Sorry.
What about Devin Booker?
No.
No.
Not after that. No.
Nope.
Not after
Nope.
that.
But he in that tier with like Jason Tatum. I feel like they're in that same tier now. They're in that tier. He like up there like Bradley Beal. I put Bradley Beal.
No. Nah.
What about Anthony Davis? He said Anthony Davis?
Nah, he ain't say Anthony Davis, and he top 10. He top 10. Come on, I know he glass man, but healthy.
Healthy.
I think he like 12 now, bro. Because
Yeah, man. AD healthy is not.
he ain't
top
played
10.
great the last 2 seasons. I'm a Laker fan, bro. You think about it, yo.
No,
Listen. If AD not in the top 10 because he not healthy, then Kawhi can't be in the top 10.
I didn't even
Never-
say healthy. I said he ain't played great the last 2 seasons. When he was playing, AD he wasn't playing great.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna say it. I said 100% healthy. He still ain't better than Embiid and Jokic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100% healthy AD top 10, so is Kawhi. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think so.
Yo, AD started the season 100% healthy. He wasn't playing good at the beginning of the season.
Bro, it ain't because he not good. It was the LeBron effect. Come on, man. We know this shit.
This is true.
Jeff, they want to chip. What?
James Harden not top 10 no more.
Fuck no.
Hell no.
Yo,
Ain't even top 20, man.
He couldn't even stop sipping his.
Fuck no. He ain't even top 20 no more, bro.
Jason Tatum's got to be in the top 10, bro. I mean,
I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's not just him by himself, bro. He's not carrying the load, bro.
Bro,
He's
he's
not
not
really
carrying low, bro. Like, bro, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, they couldn't do what he did in Game 6. Jason Tatum, yo.
Jason Tatum just had a 4 for 19 game. Like a
He just
superstar
had
in the
46.
playoffs, they don't have those games.
What are you talking about? KD had a game like that against him.
bro, what do you mean?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
No, Steph Curry had.
And y'all just said KD out the top 10. So I mean,
No, we
again,
didn't.
like
KD in the top 10. No.
Nah, KD in the top 10.
KD in the
all
top
right,
5.
I mean,
bro.
I'm just saying. I'm not
All right,
ready to give Tatum top 10
All right,
yet.
so
like,
me and Jordan say he in. Jason, Jeff, and David say he out. So it was a good question for me. All right, next question then. That was and Jeff be waiting forever for nigga top 10. Next question.
Who?
You, Jeff, be waiting forever.
like Jeff needs like 5. Jeff needs like 10 years of basketball before.
I mean, I need to see like 2 or 3 seasons, bro. You're not gonna give me your best season and then be in the top 10,
bro. This come on, Jeff.
Tatum balling for a minute, bro. You gotta Tatum started balling.
Come on, man.
Yeah, all right, man.
Bro, he been in 3 Eastern Conference Finals, bro.
Like I'm actually surprised right now that you're going off a resume. I
always go off resume. What you talking about?
No, I not all.
Yes, I do. I always go off resume, bro. I never go off 1 year, one night. Everybody can make a one-hit wonder.
This is true.
JT's a one-hit wonder?
Huh?
And I'm a Sixers fan saying this bullshit.
What I'm saying is, this year was his best. He wasn't top 10 last year, and he damn sure wasn't top 10 the year before that. So, like, are we talking about this year making him in the top 10?
You can't get in off your next year? Like, I don't understand. What you mean?
I mean, look at Ja. I mean, we said that.
Yeah, and I did say Ja, and Ja has been around long enough. So.
Oh, if you wonder what you missed, Dave, we said Tatum is better than Booker. Me and Jordan said that. If you wonder what you missed, so.
Why?
All right.
He is better than Booker. It's like, you know,
we're doing it. There's another one of those. Hold up. There's another one of those. He's better than Booker, even though none of his numbers fucking better than Booker. Regardless, we're just gonna say it just to piss somebody off, right? Because I mean, Pat Bev mentioned y'all motherfuckers. He said people do lie. So,
bro,
only go out there. He said some people do lie.
Like D Book's not. I mean, like we're not putting D Book in the top 10.
Nah.
No. He's not a top 10 player either. But Tatum wouldn't be above him on that totem pole.
This man D Book just shot 3 for 14.
Yo, hold on.
Game,
Jordan. I'm about to say thank you. Whoever said that, thank you.
That's one game.
That is one game, bro. You're going to buy all your who's best on your last game. Let's talk Kobe. Let's talk Kobe Bryant shooting percentages last game.
But he pulled it last year too.
Let's talk his shooting percentages last game. He's that shitty of a shooter.
60.
Yo, I can score 60 on 100 shots too.
Right, hold on,
no, you can't.
60.
No, you can't.
Yo, if I'm getting 60 layups, yes I am. 60
it wasn't layups, bro. It wasn't layups.
Yo, it don't matter. The shooting percentage is awful, bro.
Them badass knees of yours, you ain't even getting them fucking layups, nigga.
But wait though. Allen Iverson continuously shot a bad shooting percentages throughout his career, and he a top player. Yo,
Jeff, they just literally just saying it just to try to piss me off. Try to piss Dave off.
Bro, I'm really taking JT over D Book, bro. Like, real
nah.
shit.
Piss Dave off.
All right. I get you, yo.
I think the piss Dave off moment is in the second half of the show.
Yeah, we getting there, yo. But let's talk about Memphis.
That shit is gonna be such a not a non-nut, yo. It's just gonna have like one drop of medicine. Go ahead.
I had enough fun with Dave. I'm keep professional today. Had enough fun with Dave yesterday, so it was cool. But the Memphis.
I ain't done with you, Billy White Shoes. Don't worry. You done crossed the line. You across the line using pictures. Cause I got some pictures, bro. I got some pictures.
Jay settled the pictures, bro.
Ain't nobody say you use it. He's like you find a bag of coke and shit and be like, yo, he dropped it. Ain't nobody tell you sell it, motherfucker. Shit.
Man, once the game to me was over at that point, man.
I know, man. He did you win, yo. Jay, thank you, yo. Because I was waiting to go nuke on Mike, yo. So thank you. Billy White Shoes, we will be meeting up soon. That's all I'm saying.
Did Memphis expose anything from Golden State, Jeff, that could hurt them moving forward? What do you think, Jeff?
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, it happened just like I said. Golden State laid an egg in Game 5 just to go home in Game 6 and fucking splatter Memphis all over the walls. You know what I'm saying? And Golden State, they got a real theoretical approach to the playoffs. They play a certain way, they do things a certain way. Mike, you were saying all season how Memphis was number 1 in rebounding. Golden State is top 10 in rebounding. So I mean, I don't really give that too much merit. Honestly, no. Golden State's scary, man. To have Clay not be Clay, and now you got Jordan Poole acting going ape shit. It's real concerning. I think that they're going to be a well-oiled machine. You know, like I said, they do things schematically. They do things with the intent. When they do stuff, Steve Kerr had a break. Mike Brown came in, sealed the deal. He was able to do that. You know, I think this is about to be a problem. I think Golden State will make some noise, and I don't think you should be worried about anything about them.
Okay. How about you, Dave? Anything Golden State worry you about them?
I would say their size, that they're weak in the front, but Memphis didn't expose that because they ain't have the size of their own. No, I mean, to answer that question,
I mean,
they didn't
Memphis
expose.
had like 3 6'11" guys, but all right.
But they were all wet, though. They were all wet. What did they do? What did they do, yo?
It worked for them one game, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. One game. So one game does not a series make. Like I said, I think Golden State could have exposed them on their size. I don't know, but their big men just weren't good enough. I guess I'll say because every team got big men, but you know. That being said, no, I don't think so. I think Golden State goes to the finals now.
Let's talk to the guy who his second team Golden State, Jordan over here.
We got second teams.
That's the thing?
What? That's cute. I used to do that when I was
little. Mike, cat this out, yo.
Jordan, you love Golden State.
That sound like you sound like Mike right now, man.
Nah, I'll have to explain that. After I give my take.
All right, give me a take, bro.
What was the question?
Question is, did Memphis expose anything from the Warriors that could hurt them moving forward?
I don't really know. I don't really know either because I know you talked about you didn't like Golden State size, and you know Memphis beat them up on the boards a little bit. But honestly, I just think that Golden State, those games that they lost, I really just feel like they really wasn't really in it. Like they just weren't in it. Like they missed a lot of shots that they just normally make. Like they just had an off shooting series. I think against Dallas, they come in, they shoot the ball better. It should be a gentleman's sweep, in my opinion. I don't think Dallas is that great.
Okay, Jason, anything you see issue with Golden State? Well, you already picked Golden State early, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I'm in lockstep with Dave and Jordan's point. To be honest with you, there's really nothing that Memphis did from a schematic point that is any different than any other team is going to do that has that size or whatever. That the Warriors, let me see. They're a better shooting team than anybody you can put on the floor against them. So they're going to make shots and they're going to miss shots in certain situations. So from a game-to-game standpoint, they may have nights like you saw a few nights against Memphis when they got blown out because they couldn't hit, the broadside of a barn. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to a 7-game series, you got to beat them 4 times. And they're not going to lose 4 straight games in a situation like that, where you don't have the type of players that are going to be able to catch them. So I'm going to be honest with you, they're great. There's nothing that Memphis showed that any team is going to be able to use against them because I don't think the Mavericks have the size. You're going to put Boban in there? No. Boban not getting no time. So at the end of the day, I forgot the other guy. What's the guy number from the Mavericks that used to start? Powell. He's their big for the most part. That's going to run the floor with them. I don't really see any issues with them being able to rebound the ball when they need to. They're a team. They're a scheme. They're going to run their actions. They're going to do what they do. So I don't see any issues there. No.
All right. Well, I think that they got it. Well, we forgot how Ja was killing him in the first few games before he got hurt. And I think they got a problem guarding one-on-one Golden State. And I think that Luka is going to he's bigger, stronger than Ja, and a better shooter. So I think he's going to kind of expose them a little bit defensively is what I think.
Can I rebuttal that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Luka's one guy. It's like I'm a Spurs fan. Like, the way Coach Pop used to coach when he had the horses in the stable, you let Luka get off. You don't let nobody else get off. When we was playing all of those crazy series against the Suns, and they had Stoudemire and they had Nash or whatever, Stoudemire could go for 46 points if he wants to. It's Nash. You got to make sure that he don't get off and get the others involved or whatever the case may be. That's how you win with this.
I agree.
Like, Luka's gonna give you. He's gonna average 35 in this series or whatever. Ain't gonna be no stopping Luka. You want to make sure the others don't get on. Brunson can't have great games. You got to make sure that what's the
Dinwiddie.
you got to make sure those other guys don't get off.
All right, I'm gonna talk more on that when I talk about the next.
Wait,
question.
hold on though. Hold on. You know the difference with the Mavs and the Warriors is the Warriors have bodies that throw it. Like if they can get Iggy back for one game, Draymond, they can throw a bunch of guys at Luke and throw them off. That's all I want to say.
All right, I'm gonna follow up on that too on the next question. We got. So, next question: who is to blame for the Suns' embarrassing, disgraceful, horrible choke job that just happened? Let's start with Jason on that, man. Who's to blame for that?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. You really can't. You blame it.
Hold on, Jason. Let's tell everybody that you actually bet when the Suns were down 12 at the game.
Yeah, they were down 12, and I put $50 on it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "This is not going to go down like this." I put $50 down on this shit, and that money was so lost that I turned it off by it. I started watching the news. I don't ever watch the news. I watched the news after that. Like in the third quarter, I was like, man, this is some bullshit. But I kept having to turn back to see how bad it was going to get. And I think at one point in time, it was like 46 or something, whatever. Mm-hmm. Either way, I blame, you know who I blame for this? I blame the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm blaming the Milwaukee Bucks, and let me explain. There's something to be said for when I remember the Spurs in the Heat, 2013. I still wake up in cold sweats behind Game 6. And, I remember Game 7 where we were up 11, and, we were still up in that series. We could have still won Game 7. We lost. But the next year, we got back with the same team. See, earlier that day, before that night game, the Milwaukee Bucks were eliminated. And I feel like the Suns, they lost something because they wanted to go back and they wanted to take it from the Bucks the way the Bucks took it from them. After they were up 2 games and feeling good, feeling themselves, and they were like, this shit is over. We about to win our first championship. And the Bucks won 4 straight fucking games and took their ass down. So I blame the Milwaukee Bucks for taking a little bit for allowing the Phoenix Suns to take their eye off the ball, because after watching them get eliminated, it was like, damn, man, we're not even going to see the same team no more. What the fuck we go? So they just was like, man, fuck it, we ain't playing. Because there's no other excuse for me why you at home on your home floor and you let Luka and them niggas, they was smiling. Luka
laughing.
Smiling.
Yeah.
He was, there's no other excuse for me. So I blame the Milwaukee Bucks for the reason why the Phoenix Suns put up that performance on that night.
All right, Jordan, who'd you blame for that?
Man, I mean, it's Luka Doncic. That's the blame for the loss. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not just going to say they ain't just show up and but I mean, when dude comes out and in the first half, 27 points, dude was like, bro, I mean, I don't know what I would be. I'm like, fuck it. I'd be like, fuck it too. At halftime, I'd have been like, shit, all right, game done. I'd look, I mean, what you supposed to do, bro? That's embarrassing, bro. That's deflating as hell.
I don't even know.
Embarrassing is a good word.
Then your whole entire team at halftime, and then Phoenix just couldn't buy a bucket. They was throwing up shots, getting decent shots that they normally make, and they just weren't falling. So they say CP3 had an apparent quad injury. I did see a play where he did kind of hold it. Who knows? D-Book just didn't have a good game. Apparently, there was some shit going on with DeAndre Ayton. There was an issue with Monty Williams, and he got benched. I just think it's Luka Doncic. Luka's greatness just showed up in Game 7, and it was just too much for them to handle. The first 5-6 minutes of the game. I mean, I'm just like, holy shit. I never even seen anything like that before.
Don't worry, Dave. I'm coming to you, bro. Wait for you. You can wipe your tears now.
I'm fine. I'm patiently waiting. I don't cry. I ain't no bitch.
Yeah, I need.
Jeff.
I just don't have. I don't have an explanation. Like
that's cool.
Only explanation is Luka. Like
Jeff, who would say the blame for the Suns' loss?
I think we. You know what? I don't even know. It's so.
Damn.
It's so.
Nobody knows.
It's so. It's the whole thing. It has me like baffled. Like I'm flabbergasted. Just trying to find an adjective to explain how shocked I am about how this played out, because I feel like we watched Chris Paul turn 37 right in front of our eyes. Like, okay, you just turned 37, bro. You done doing a backslide.
Done.
But again, with the scheme that the Mavericks ran, where they kind of blitzed Chris Paul a lot, I expected Devin Booker to have a lot more one-on-one opportunities where he would do somebody dirty and get buckets and go ham. At the same time, I feel like Monty Williams didn't really change up the approach to it either. So I feel like he just kind of played right into their hand. Like, all right, we notice what they're doing. We're just going to try to outdo them at what they're trying to do. So, I kind of can spread this around a little bit. And again, it's really hard to pinpoint on one person. I agree with Jordan. I think Luka Doncic is the reason that this shit happened, because, the way he been playing like right now, man, I'm just not sure, man. Like, anything can happen. I think, I have expectations for the Western Conference Finals, but they might be derailed depending on how a couple games go, because Luka playing so good. Like, Rick Brunson playing so good. Like, every night they find some other dude to go ahead and chip in and get busy on this. And, it's one of those scary teams. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. The way they playing right now remind me of, like, the old LeBron Cavs, where it was just him taking his time, doing whatever he wanted, and he would find other guys to chip in certain nights. But Luka got a motherfucking jump shot out this water. Like, that thing wet. Like, I'm like, yo, man, this kid is unbelievable. Like, how do the Mavericks keep finding all this foreign talent? Like, who they got overseas to picking these people out, man? Like,
they didn't win nothing either, so they might not win nothing.
Who?
Them Cavs teams ain't win shit.
Yeah, you're right. I said, but it's reminiscent where just one player is just kind of dictating the pace of the entire game until somebody figures them out. But as far as the Suns go, I just don't know. I think they're two team. They don't have a superstar. Like, they're two dependent. The whole team is dependent on the team playing well. They don't really have like Devin Booker is really, really good, but he's not great. Like, he can't say, yo, I got this series all by myself. Don't worry. Give me the rock. Get out the way. I'm getting points, rebounds, assists, steals, all that. I'm going to fill it all up. And they just don't have a superstar. And until they get one, or until he turns into one, I think we're going to see. I think they maxed out last year.
All right, Dave, I'm going to get the violin for you if you need it. But...
Oh, no, you go. I want you to go. I want to go last.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I want to destroy all y'all points. Good.
Well, listen. I said to you last night, they don't have a superstar. So Jeff already been told Dave that, so I agree with you.
Oh, okay. Hey, Jeff, can you do me a favor? Change your name to authoritarian of all basketball in the world. Mike just elevated you to that status. Oh, Jeff said it, so now it gotta be true.
Dave, we give credit around here where it's due. That's what we do around here, bro.
If I call this, it'll be sunny tomorrow. Y'all gonna call me up and be like, "You the best weather caller ever." You just
we gonna be like, "Yo, you was on point." We gonna say you was on point,
yeah, bro.
Or you got, or you just picked up off day to say some shit. But can
I get my time? All right,
go ahead.
So again, one of the issues, they don't have a superstar. Number one, everybody shit is correct. Chris Paul got old, and they targeted Chris Paul. So going back to my other question, I think the Mavs will try to target Steph too. However, Steph might be a little better than a defender than Chris Paul at this point in his career. Ayton was never it. And I think Jordan said that years ago, actually, about Ayton. I remember that. So Ayton is he's okay. You know what I mean? He's average. You're probably gonna be gone at this point. And I think that even though Monty Williams was coach of the year, quote unquote, he didn't pull all the right buttons. They supposedly was next man up, deepest team in the league. But what happened to the bench? Bench ain't show up. Both Cams were like Cam Newton. They ain't show up.
Oh,
the
shit.
series at all. And then
Out.
what you call it? He thought he'd be there, right? What is his name? Who's the other starter I'm thinking of with the braids? What's his name?
Jay Crowder.
Crowder.
What? Crowder, bro.
Yeah,
Crowder's like,
well, I don't know what happened to him, yo.
yeah, like he just be
I
there.
think
He don't do
thought
nothing
was,
no
I think
more.
he thought he was back with Dallas again. Like, you know, when he got drafted.
Yeah. And now he stay getting
I
cooked.
forgot he
Stuff
played
like
for Dallas.
Yeah, we need an APB out for him.
Yeah,
right, Jeff?
he got
Like,
drafted by them.
We got to put an APB out for Crowder.
I forgot he played for them.
I forgot he was even out there a couple times yesterday. What the
Oh.
fuck? And shit like
Yeah.
that. So it's just that. All right, and a bigger overarching point, man. And I'm gonna get to that in my next question. But if you really think about it, Jeff said, like, look, they a team without a superstar. They caught some big breaks last year. They got the Lakers with no AD. They got Denver with no Jamal Murray. They got the Clippers with no Kawhi Leonard. But then when they had to face Giannis, what happened? They got smoked. Now they got to face Luka. What happened? They get smoked. So to me, if they don't get breaks, I don't know what the fuck they are. So honestly, it definitely was embarrassing to lose like that in Game 7 on your home floor by 46 points to paying customers, booing you on the way out the game. That's
They
a
owe
bad,
all
bad,
them niggas refunds. All
Right.
them niggas need their money back.
bad,
Run me my
bad,
coin.
bad. I mean, I'm talking about 33 points. They were down by 46
I wanna-
at one point. I want to be active. Go ahead, Jordan, for Dave. Go ahead.
No. I'm ready for. I'm ready for what Dave has to say.
Go ahead, Dave.
Is everybody finished?
I will say this. I think Devin Booker is still a star. I think he's still a star. He's still a really good player.
Yeah.
The last couple of years is his coming out party.
He's not a superstar, though.
He still has room to grow.
Yeah.
He still has room to grow. But
Wait. Go ahead. Finish your point, Jordan. I'm sorry.
if CP3 is your second best player, you can't win a championship. And I'm sorry, that's the truth.
Facts.
Before you
Facts.
go, Dave, I do disagree about eight. I think before CP3 got there was really starting to rise, but I think something with CP3 took something away from Ayton. The way the scheme situation, whatever the scheme is that they're running now with CP3 doesn't cater to Ayton. Ayton should be the guy that should be like taking over, but he's not. It's not working. I don't know how he's getting that max money this year. He's going to be a free agent, I believe, at the end of the season, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Looking at the end of the season, but but he's a free agent at this point in time or whatever. So if he's looking for max money, he sure didn't earn it last night. Or I'm sorry, the other night. So go, Dave, go.
Go, Dave. Floor is yours. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a shine, brother.
Give him the single shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Single shot.
First, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna shock the world. I'm gonna agree with Mike and Jordan, I think, and probably the rest of the panel. I have no idea what the fuck Jay Crowder's still doing there on the floor. Last season, I was like, what the fuck did Jay Crowder do exactly? But he did play good defense last season, and he was like that veteran presence that we needed. Okay, whatever. Now for all the shit I disagree. Jay, the Milwaukee Bucks had absolutely zero to do with the fuck with this shit because there was players on our team that wasn't there last year that didn't experience that shit. So that shit's cap. Second, define a superstar for me. Somebody, please. One of you guys. Maybe Jeff, since Mike anointed him the king of all basketball knowledge.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Dave.
You're welcome.
But a superstar is one who can elevate his team amongst any circumstance, whether it be injury, players being deficient, someone you can count on every single night, and they can do it.
So every year the league ends with one superstar, right? Because all the other guys that guy beat didn't do that, right?
Nah.
It don't work like that, dude.
Oh,
I
that
like
was
how you trying to
different.
smear it, but it don't work.
Not trying to smear it. Like what qualify? All right, so let's take the point. Let's take two superstars. Let's take Giannis and let's take Durant. No. Let's take East and West. So we'll do Curry and we'll do Kyrie Irving, right? They're both superstars. Am I right? You guys classify them as superstars?
Nah.
Yes. No.
Curry,
No?
yes. Kyrie,
Curry,
I'm on a.
No, they're superstars.
All right. Jimmy Butler. You guys consider Jimmy Butler a superstar?
No.
Give me Joel Embiid. Does anybody consider Joel Embiid?
Hell yeah.
Great.
Hell
Okay. So Joel Embiid and Steph Curry collide in the finals, and Steph Curry beats Joel Embiid. Does that mean Joel Embiid did not show up for his squad every night in, night out, and got it done above all circumstances, right?
It depends what the stats look like, bro.
Yeah.
No, Mike. Don't shut Mike. Shut the fuck up, Mike. You said this morning it ain't nothing about. Yo, hold up, Mike. Is Mike saying stats? Yeah, stats. No, this morning you told me it ain't all about numbers. Now
It's not. It's not. But you got
it's about numbers for this second. But it's about numbers for. All right, wait. So you have to produce, right? So if I told you I'm gonna give you a dude that's averaging 27 points a game, you're gonna tell me what am I gonna do with that bum?
No, I'm gonna say, well, what else is he doing besides shooting? Because Lou Will could average 27 if he just shooting.
Oh, he's also giving 5 and 5. It's 27, 5 and 5. Every
All right,
night.
so
Every night.
So wait though. When does he score his point? And this, I'm going to give you I'm going to give you criteria. If the other team is coming back, if they're up 10, his team is up 10, and the other team is raging back, and his team needs consecutive buckets, can they go to him and he get buckets?
We're not talking about a game. We're not talking about one single game. Jeff, we talk about if you were a GM. No, if you were a GM, if you was a GM and you were looking for a player and your scout was like, I got a guy who'll average 27, 5 and 5. You're gonna sit here and really ask, well, when does he score his points?
No, I'm gonna say I want to look at certain circumstances when the pressure is on the most, when it requires him to be better, be the best player on the floor at one moment or multiple moments throughout his career, throughout games, throughout seasons. I want to see, is he that guy? Because motherfuckers score all the time, Dave. Guys, it's the NBA. It's no foul.
But Jeff, you gotta admit that nobody scores 27 points a game. Not many guys score 27 points a game.
Bro, DeMar DeRozan average. He's not superstar either. He averaged 28.
Wait a minute, hold on, y'all. You missing the whole. We're talking about the choke job that was Game 7.
I am retaliating to y'all points. I want me to just answer that question. I'll answer that question. Just won't respond to what y'all say.
Go ahead. Your floor.
Jay, you good with that, Jay? Or you just want me to answer the question, Jay?
I kept it about that. Keep it about that.
I'll do it for Jay and just keep it about the question. Let me go back and get this question again.
Choke job, nigga.
Yeah.
Choke job.
Here we go. Who is most to blame for the Suns' embarrassing choke job? And then Mike added like 8 other adjectives that he learned today. I would say probably Luka. Luka's a top 5 guy. I said it on the last show that Luka's a top 5 basketball player already. If y'all don't think he is, y'all bugging. But that's everybody's opinion. And top 5 basketball players can do that to a team. They can take over games, and that's what happened. We came out flat, and this is for everybody, so I want to see Mike asking about what happened with the. Okay, we came out flat. Nobody hit a shot in the first fucking quarter. I think it was one free throw made by the big three on our end. And Luka just
did he say big three?
Yeah, he did.
The big three, yeah. Our big three. Ayton, Booker, and Chris Paul. That's what we considered our big three. They only counted for 1 point in the first quarter. Didn't get rolling until like late third quarter, and by that time the game was already in the books. So that's what happened. So that's why I have to blame Luka Doncic. So Jordan and Jeff were right. Jay and Mike were wrong.
Thanks.
Okay, all right.
You blaming Luka? You ain't blaming y'all like lack of like coming out saying like, yo, we taking this game. This we own, nigga.
I don't know how to do that.
No, because we didn't do that.
I mean,
when did we do that? You got that on video or something? You got that on tape or audio? Secret audio recording that we did that? No? Oh, okay. So, Cat.
Yo, I mean, not for nothing, bro. Dude was, they're not circus shots. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, Jordan. Before you finish, I want you to think about Luka's entire career. Tell me he ain't been making the same exact shots.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Man, he ain't do nothing in this game that he ain't done in any other game.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Let me move forward, man.
He's making them shits, though.
I think Dave beating around the bush. We gonna get to.
What do you mean I'm beating around the bush? I tried to answer. Jay was like, "No, you don't want me to answer." So fuck it.
All right, let me answer this, man. How about Jay? Is the Suns championship window closed now? What do you think?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you, Jason.
Yeah, that shit closed. Hell yeah, that shit closed. Because here's the problem. The problem with the Suns is the fact that now you got everybody else in the West that's either coming up. And matter of fact, I even conjured up a little list here to even show you how close this shit is in case your ass over there in the top up. Well, now you in the middle. You up there, Mr. Suns fan, don't realize what the fuck you just did to yourself after you did that dumb shit other night, getting your ass whooped. Memphis is coming. Them niggas going nowhere, as a matter of fact. Clippers gonna be healthy. Dallas, well, you already know about Dallas at this point in time.
Nah. Well, basically, Dallas, according to Mike, Dallas is just one superstar and a bunch of bums. All those guys averaging 15, 16, 17, and 19 points on that roster are all bums to Mike.
Players, bro. I never
They're bums. You said you got one star.
They do got one star. Am I wrong? Where's the line?
Yeah, they got one star.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay. Finish your point, Jay.
So we know about Dallas. The Warriors are obviously going to be healthier and good because they'll get Wiseman back, and Clay will have somewhat of a full season under his belt. He's going to be better for sure. You got Denver that's going to hopefully be healthy with Murray and Michael Porter Jr. coming back possibly. They're going to be in the mix next year. Minnesota's on the rise to some degree. The Pelicans are definitely coming as well. And I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 teams I just mentioned. I ain't even mentioned the Lakers or the Suns, obviously, in regards to that. So y'all going to be in the mix there. But as far as your window is concerned about winning championships, this roster can't win. The roster as currently constructed doesn't have a championship in their future. This was your shot. Last year you had the opportunity. You fucking blew it. You 2-0 in the finals. You finished the deal. This year you get to the semifinals. You should have won this series because Dallas, nobody would have picked Dallas to win. I think I picked it in my dreams, but I was bugging. I probably peed the bed that night. So they had no business winning this series. Y'all should have been in the Western Conference Finals, although I did, and you did too. I picked Golden State to beat y'all in the next round, regardless of the fact. But I do feel like y'all had a legitimate shot. This was your best opportunity to win a championship with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton, your big three or whatever, with the pieces you have around you. It's not happening again in this situation. So no, the window's closed.
Jordan, window closed.
Real quick. I just want to correct Jay. I didn't say that Golden State was going to beat us. I said they was going to give us a tough time. I didn't know if we was going to win. That's what I said.
Well, my bad. You would have been wrong because obviously you weren't going to get out of the round before that. So, got
Jordan, window closed, bro.
I mean, it's. I mean, I gotta agree with.
It's set.
I mean, like he said. I mean, you look at all the other teams in the West. I mean, last year was probably their chance. I don't see how they get any better. I mean, they were the number 1 seed with the best record in the NBA. They could potentially lose DeAndre Ayton, and then Chris Paul is going to be 38. So I don't know how they get any better. I mean, I don't see the window. I mean, I don't see them winning. I don't. I mean, the window's closed. The window's closed. It was probably closed. We thought it was closed after they lost last year. I don't think anybody came back and said, "Oh, they're gonna run it back and get back to the finals." I didn't expect them to be the best team in the league this year. They evidently turned out to not be, but the window's closed.
Record says otherwise, but okay.
Hey, Mike, before my bad, can I correct something real quick? I apologize, Jordan. I 100% agree with you. Let me say this: the window's not closed. I apologize, but I can guarantee you that you couldn't get a fucking ant through the fucking crack of the window that is open because they're going to be a playoff team, I would imagine. Yeah. But the window's so fucking like you can't even see. Like I don't know if you can see my finger, but like right now, like that's just like this. Y'all niggas ain't getting it.
I mean, if they run it back, they keep Ayton. They run it back.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself at next year? All things considered, everybody healthy.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Same spot, hopefully not facing Dallas second round. If we keep Ayton. But according to Mike, Ayton only averages 17 and 10, so he's a bum.
Everybody call him a bum. Hey, he can say call him, but I never called.
You ain't never called Ayton a bum? You never called Ayton a bum?
I definitely called him a bum, but
thank you. There you go. Liar. That's how you catch a liar, guys. All right.
He should be more than 17 and 10.
That's how you catch a liar. 17 and 10 is so to a guy whose basketball acumen means 17 points to 10 boards is bum. Yeah, that's to show you where.
Jeff, let me get
That's
this.
to show you
Jeff,
what Mike's opinion rolls.
hold on, Dave. Let me get to you yet. Jeff, is the window closed, bro?
Window closed for who we talking about?
The Suns championship window.
Yeah, that thing shut, bro. That thing shut, and they nailed it in this week, bro. It's over. I mean, because look, like you said, Mike, they got a lot of breaks last year, right? In reality, let's keep it 100%. They got a lot of breaks last year. I know Monty won Coach of the Year. I just don't think he's the guy. And Chris Paul hasn't gotten it done yet. You know what I'm saying? He's got to take some of the lion's share of the blame. I think the championship window is over because next year I think LA will be better. I think it's an abundance of teams that'll be better and kind of rebound. I don't see the Suns getting back to the chip again.
The other element.
And wait, let me back up.
Yeah,
Hold on.
he meant the Clippers. He meant the Clippers. Okay.
Hold on. I kind of agree with what Jay said too about the DeAndre Ayton thing. I think when Chris Paul came, they really delegated him to a pick and roll guy and don't let him get on the block and do work. And I think before when
He
it was
wasn't
Booker
doing
and
that
Ayton,
anyway.
bro, but he definitely was on the block,
wasn't-
son.
Jeff, he wasn't doing that anyway. I said it,
Bro. He was definitely on the block, son. And he's
Who, Ayton?
improving every
Who
year.
Aiden?
What was the
Aiden
Aiden's
is
numbers
a
before Chris
screener,
Paul got
bro.
there?
Yo,
What was his numbers before CP3 got there, Dave? You know?
they were around the same. Around. I can look it up right now. But they were
bro,
around the
Aiden
same.
was never going to be nothing special than what he is now. Mike
He
thought
could have been
was
20 and 10.
better.
Easy.
Nah, he thought he was going to be better than Joel Embiid when he first came out.
I did. I was waiting.
He was
I
on
really
that
was.
wave. He was on that wave. I'm like, you must be crazy.
That's what you don't know, Dave. I was with Ayton.
Yo.
Ayton disappointed me.
His rookie year, 16 points, 10 boards. Next year, 18 points, 11 boards. Next year after that, 14 points, 10 boards. Next year after that,
points, bro.
that was last year, 14 and 10.
That's what he said.
and
Though.
So his numbers did drop.
And then this year, 17 and 10.
Okay.
So
So
I mean, again,
saying-
So
he's
every
slowly
year
climbing.
he's averaged a double.
But he
He's
never
not
averaged
bad.
20 points.
He's not a. He's
But
not
yeah, but he
bad.
was this
He's
at
Wow.
Mike. Without Chris Paul,
He's
he might
never-
have got 20 and 10.
Without Devin Booker, he might have got 25 and 10.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I don't know about
I mean-
25. I'm just saying 20.
Bro, without-
Well, I
Chris
mean,
Paul,
Booker
he-
takes a
he-
lot
he-
of shots, bro.
Without Chris Paul, he'd get more shots. He's averaged 20 and 10, bro. It's like on his own, he can't average 20. If you can't average 20 and 10 right now, you're probably gonna average 20 and 10 without another person on the floor to get more shots.
Mm.
So
I think Ayton got a ceiling, but he disappointed me. I thought he would be much better than what he is, honestly, Dave. But Dave, is the window closed as a Suns fan? What do you think, man?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And everybody who think the window closed, man, listen, bro, that shit is broke. All right. Hey, we got CP3 coming back.
bro.
We got CP3 coming back. That's number one. If we get back Ayton, like I said before, we're gonna be in the same spot. If we don't get Ayton back, we still got JaVale. Everybody thinks that JaVale McGee is just gonna vanish and disappear, but at times this season, he was our better player, our better big man, our more aggressive big man. He got rebounds that Ayton didn't chase down. He's a better screener. He's a better defender overall, I think, than Ayton. I'm not saying that he's better than Ayton, but it's not gonna be that much of a drop off in scoring. So, and then on top of that, we might have Sarge back next year as well. I know everybody's gonna collective laugh, correct? But he didn't play this year because he was injured the whole year.
Sarge.
Yeah. So with Miguel and Sarge in our front court and the same team, pretty much, and we got to get rid of Crowder. Trade Crowder for something, anything. We got to get somebody else on that floor other than Crowder because he's washed. I thought he was washed 3 years ago, but apparently last year he did his thing, so I let him slide. But yeah, our window's open for me. If we don't get it next year, then we can start talking about the window closing as soon as CP3 leaves or something like that. But Ayton's not going to hurt us. Like 17
agree
to 10.
with Jay,
That's not.
man.
I mean,
Sorry.
what trade you Tobias Harris for Mikal Bridges?
Oh shit.
Fuck that. Fuck out of here, bro. Bugging. Nah, I said this to Jay yesterday too. I said we got 2 max contracts. Booker got to get 1. I would rather Bridges have that max contract than Ayton. Straight up. I'd rather max Bridges than max Ayton out. And that's just me.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I think I would agree to that though, because you can probably find another center that can give you 17 and 10. I don't know if you're gonna find a wing player like Bridges who has more potential. He's only been what 2 seasons now, 3
Yeah,
years?
25. He's 25 years old, bro.
I would agree with that. I would agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Bridges is limited as an offensive player.
He was that's all right. We don't
I
need
mean,
you don't need all
He
that.
doesn't
Jay,
have to be.
Yo,
Yeah,
Jay,
he doesn't have to be an offensive
Jay,
threat. Right now.
tell him how important Bruce Bowen was to y'all, yo.
Okay.
Extremely important.
All right. Okay, because Bridges is a great defender, right?
But you know what it is?
No.
You know what it is? Bruce Bowen, guys like Bruce Bowen don't end up on a cereal box, so Mike don't know.
Nah. Bridges is a great defender, right? What was the defense against Luka though?
I think
he wasn't guarding
Bridges could be a
Luka.
better.
Like nobody.
I think Bridges
like,
has
nobody.
more
No, he wasn't manned up on Luka all game.
Bro,
Get
he
the
was
fuck outta
cooking
here.
Bridges a couple times, bro.
Like,
Okay, Luka is gonna cook anyone. He cooked LeBron ass. What you saying? All right, he cooked everybody. You think he ain't cooked Tatum? You think he ain't?
Bridges is a great defender. Bridges is a great defender.
Hold the fuck. Now hold on. Let me get this out of Mike. Who didn't Luka cook?
Who didn't Luka cook?
Yeah, who don't Luka cook a couple times a game? Who?
I mean, a couple times a game is different, but if he's the defensive player of the year,
All right, so if Mikal Bridges, if Bridges ain't guarding Luka for
when
most of the
Bruce
game,
Bowen and ask Jay this, when Bruce Bowen was a defensive player like that, he was locking niggas up.
oh,
And
Jay,
they'll tell you that
Jay, how many times did Bruce Bowen keep Kobe Bryant in single digits?
Nah, that's not happening.
But then he have
Thank
him
you.
shoot a bad percentage.
Thank
and I'm a
you.
Laker fan.
Yeah, he made him work. He'll make you work. But he got
Thank
cooked. He
you.
got
was laughing at Bridges.
Against a superstar, how you know he was laughing at Bridges, Mike? Show me the text where he sent you. Where he said, "You see me laughing, Mike? It's at Mikal Bridges." This is the type of Pat Bev shit that I got mad about talking about. Motherfuckers literally just make shit up. They'll just make it up because somebody might want to hear it later.
So Luka
No,
wasn't
you make
laughing,
shit
bro.
up.
That's all.
Yes, Luka was laughing, but who was he laughing at Mikal? Why was he laughing at Mikal for?
He was
see?
scoring on him. What you talking about, bro? This is hilarious, bro.
Oh my goodness! So he only laughed when he
not-
scored on Mikal. I'm gonna go back and watch the tape. He only
would
laughed
not
when he scored on
max
Mikal,
out
right?
Bridges, bro. I don't know what Bridges max is, but I wouldn't max him out like for no crazy number.
Bridges is
I
a
would max
good
him out. I would max him out.
defender.
Runner up, defensive player of the year. Yeah, run him up. Yeah.
He's just skinny. That's
He
And,
definitely
and on top of that, Mike, you making it sound like the dude averaged like 3 points a game. He
He
can
like, 13,
score.
14?
Yeah, that's good for a defender. Bruce Bowen
He's
wasn't putting up
player,
15
yo.
a game.
I like Mikal Bridges. I think he has a huge.
I like Mikal Bridges. It's like a mid-level guy,
Yo,
not like a max player.
Everybody on this panel. We got Mike's opinion. All right, so we got the 6-year-old basketball fans' opinion out the way. Who here would take Ayton over Bridges maximum?
I ain't say take. Jeff, would you max out Bridges, yo, or give him mid-level?
I would keep
Would
it
you
real.
max out-
I would max out Ayton before Bridges. I would.
Thank you.
Wow.
because Ayton gives you something that's rare in the league. He's athletic, and I say that tenderly. He's a very athletic big man who can block shots. He can anchor a defense. Teams don't have that.
He can anchor or what?
Like you got to think about it. He got to go up against the Suns. Got to face Joker for the next 5 to 10 years. You know what I'm saying? If they get to the championship, they got to play Embiid. It's big men all over the place.
Yo,
You gotta
he
have some
averaged.
sort of big man
Yo,
there.
he averaged 0.7 blocks, 0.7 steals. Ayton.
Jeff.
All right.
Jeff.
McGee averaged more. McGee averaged
Bridges is more important, especially being in the West. When you look at all the wing players in the West that have to be guarded, even guards and wings, like only in the West.
Bro, I don't know, bro. Mikal Bridges, I like him a lot, and I'm sure he's a really good talent. But I think he's being.
I'll give him a good contract, but not no
thing.
max contract. That's all. Right, Jeff?
Yeah.
The traits on this game.
I mean,
exactly
not
what
like
I'm
the
saying.
super max.
He got
He can
strength
get
on
like
his
90K. Bro,
Oh.
if David Bertans got like 90 million,
Man, that was 2
Bridges
years
should
ago.
be getting 90 million.
That's called bad
That's how it's
management, bro.
Okay.
Do you feel David Bertans is worth 90 million?
That's
No,
called
he's
bad
not.
management, bro.
Hey, that's a former Spurs.
Do you
That's
feel
a
he's
former
worth
Spurs.
that?
His name is Davis, not Davis. It's Davis.
Davis
Bertans.
Didn't he get like 90 million from Washington or something?
80 million,
like that?
yeah.
So wait,
Yeah,
So if he got 90 million to come off the
if David
bench,
Bertans get 90 million, I can't get a max deal.
no, Bridges should be getting 100 million. All right. Bro.
All right, let me move forward, man. How does this? Let me start with Jay again, bro, because this is the question Dave haven't been talking about yet today. But how did this loss, this disgraceful loss, that affect CP3's legacy What do you think, man?
I mean, the legacy is cemented. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So I mean, from a legacy standpoint, unfortunately, you put him into John Stockton, the Charles Barkley's of the world, and those players who unfortunately have not had an opportunity to win a championship. He finally got over the hurdle to finally get to a championship to at least play in a final last year, but his legacy cemented. He is. Let's not forget, he is 37 years old. So if he never wins a championship at this point in time, again, it doesn't. I don't think his legacy is tarnished. I think people will always remember these 2 games to no falters that he's had over how many times now? 5, 6, 7 times or whatever.
5 times he was up 2-0 and lost. The most ever by any player.
They're going to mention those things. Those things are going to be mentioned.
That's bad, bro. That's bad.
And like this is not disrespectful. I'm not just being disrespectful to Dave because his career is going to be. It doesn't all have to do with the Suns. So it's but all of his accomplishments, all of his accolades or whatever. I don't think there's anything that tarnishes that. So to be honest with you, he's a Hall of Famer, and that's just that. He's one of the greatest 75 players in this league or whatever. Voted to that list. So at the end of the day, and I think he deserves to be there. So
I agree with that, Jeff.
So wait, I got a question. Is Jason Kidd a Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Yes. He already in.
Why?
I mean, because was he third in steals now? Third. I mean,
I got informed, Jay, by the other day by Mike, the king of basketball, that it doesn't matter how many steals you have, you can still be a bad defender. John Stockton was the worst defender ever, guys.
Bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
All right.
Olajuwon too. Olajuwon, all-time leader in blocks. I think he was a bad defender.
I ain't talking about blocks.
Jason Kidd was a triple-double.
How could one stat make you good and the other one not, bro? How do you explain that?
All right. You know what? Let's get to the question, bro. Jeff, what were you gonna say, man? So
again, I mean, it doesn't diminish his legacy, but it doesn't. I don't know. He's choking. He be choking. You got to have some sort of backlash for being up 2-0 5 times and losing 5 times. Like, it's got to be some sort of backlash. We can't give a pass for that. Like, if you're one of the greatest point guards in NBA history or the greatest 75 players in NBA history, there's got to be some backlash for that. Like, you can't get it done.
Ooh. Yo, Jeff, can I say something?
Go ahead.
I apologize. So, I agree. And I may have to back off for this a little bit because those people that I mentioned or whatever, the John Stocktons of the world, and the Charles Barkley's or whatever, that come to mind without championships, they ran into Jordan.
Right.
Oh, yo, LeBron James, the guy who's been eating up the finals appearances for like the last 15 years.
Chris Paul never lost to LeBron James.
Jordan better.
What? I'm not saying he don't win against him, but Chris Paul's teams have been eliminated by LeBron James-led teams, right?
When?
No.
When?
Not all the time.
Never.
No, never.
No.
Oh, okay. In the Kobe era, was it Kobe then eliminating all them Chris Paul teams?
Kobe did eliminate New Orleans, a couple times.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue, Jeff.
Yeah. No, that was it. I just feel like, again, Chris Paul's legacy, when you look at John Stockton and Charles Barkley and people that I keep mentioning, Karl Malone, whatever, they ran into Jordan. They had the misfortune, Patrick Ewing and the Knicks and some of the Miami Heat, whatever. They ran into Jordan. Chris Paul hasn't run into a Jordan
at all.
That got him ousted out of the playoffs or out of the opportunity to win a championship. Those Clippers teams were really good. They just couldn't get over the hump. So go ahead.
That's bad though because that Lob City team had enough talent. I mean, granted, it had Doc Rivers. He did have those couple Hornets teams that ran up against Kobe, but those teams were pretty good too. David West, they had pretty good players on those teams. This Suns team, they went to the chip. Look, he up 2-0 in the championship, bro, and you lose 4 straight. I mean, come on.
Yeah, man.
Got to say something about that.
Stuff.
It was just him on the floor, or no?
Huh?
It was just Chris Paul on the floor when that happened, or was that?
But he was the most experienced player on that team.
Was he the leading scorer? Like, is he
What
the
that
one
got to
that
do with experience?
Because when you need a bucket, you got to look to your leading scorer. You can't look to the dude who's like fifth in scoring on your team.
Well, why couldn't Chris Paul know how to get a bucket? Get one bucket.
Chris Paul does know how to get buckets. And if you're gonna lie to yourself and say you never seen Chris Paul get buckets,
But why he can't get one bucket?
he had an off night, bro. If you want to talk career buckets, I can
Off
tell
night,
the number of career.
bro. The last 5 games, he was trash.
Trash, bro.
Nah, not really. Not last 5.
My man would say he was trash dump truck juice.
Cole
Trash
Paul.
truck juice.
Hey, Jordan, man, how you feel it affect his legacy, man? It's lost to Dallas, bro. After being up 2-0 again.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it takes a hit at all because I feel like this is something that we already know. At the end of the day, my true belief on this is, I said it earlier, but when Chris Paul is your second best player, I really wholeheartedly don't believe that you have a chance to win a championship. I don't understand why people think that he can lead a team to a championship. I'm sorry. A 6-foot point guard is not going to be able to do that anymore in today's game unless you were Allen Iverson. So I don't really see.
Wait, he didn't even do that, but all right.
I mean, he led his team to the finals.
So did Chris Paul. So all right.
So did Chris Paul. But that was different, though.
I mean,
That was different, though. Because AI
that was
talk
way
shit.
different.
That was
way
way different because AI talks shit and AI
I mean,
swagger.
even the team was the overall team was way better, and he had Devin Booker. Allen Iverson had himself. I mean, come on, let's be real.
I mean, Chris Paul did the same thing, and he actually won more games in the finals than Allen Iverson.
Yeah, how did Chris Paul do the same thing when he had another All-Star next to him?
I thought we said.
Okay.
I thought you said he wasn't a star. I thought we said Devin Booker wasn't a superstar.
No, I said he was a star, bro. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's
Jordan just said All-Star too. That's how he padded his words by saying
he's
All-Star.
He's a star. He's an All-Star. He's not a superstar, but he's an All-Star. He's a good player. He's a really good player. I just don't think
Allen Iverson had Dikembe Mutombo, who was a top 75 player.
Bro, what the fuck? How we on Allen Iverson right now?
Get out of here, bro. All I'm saying is I just don't think it takes a hit at all. I think we've seen since Clipper days, they've folded. And like I said, he's not a guy who could just dominate a game. He can't dominate the game and control the pace of the game. Like, I mean, he can, but not like your true superstars in the league can. So I just don't think it really takes a hit at all. I think this is something that we already knew. We're going to go down as one of the greatest point guards ever. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's just not going to win a championship. It is what it is. I don't think it hurts.
You just hurt Mike Hart.
I hurt my heart. You up though?
I'm up.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna say 2 sentences, and then I'm gonna leave it alone. Chris Paul was one of the greatest point guards ever in history, regardless of what your homeboy Pat Bev, the dude you like, put all your stocking trade in, says. He's still gonna be one of the greatest point guards to play even after this game. Nobody's gonna remember 50 years from now. Well, you remember he did have 5-2-0 leads and lost all up. Oh, you know what? He sucks now. Like, it ain't never gonna go down like that. So no. Does it damage his legacy? Absolutely not. Not at all.
I think it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, my fault.
No. Finish.
I'm about to say, nigga, because you said 2 sentences. I can't just count 6 sentences. That's enough, my nigga.
Well, the other 4 was just to expound on my point. The other 4 was to expound on the point. But all I did was real 2 sentences.
Yo, I agree with Jordan, man. I think that he is what we thought he was, right? I think he's not a guy who can lead a team to a championship, but he's a great point guard, all-time great point guard. But he's just not, he done showed it since he's been, like you said, New Orleans, Clippers, and those Clipper teams were better than teams they were losing to. And then, he's better than Dallas. Should have won. And if you really look at it, Giannis started off banged up in the finals last year and we're up 2-0. So, I'm surprised they lost that lead. So, to be honest with you, I just think that he is what he is. He does elevate teams that are trying to get there, making it better, but he just can't get them to that over the mountaintop. So, he has a ceiling, but still the greatest, not the greatest, I'm sorry, one of the great all-time point guards, I would say. And I want to ask you this, Jay, real quick. or anybody want to chime in. Our argument, me and Dave, what I said, I want to clarify. I said getting steals, and Jeff, you took answers. I said getting steals does not make you a great defender. Do you agree?
Now hold on, Jeff. Before you answer, this is what I said. He left out what I said to him. I said Pat Bev called him a traffic cone. I said, how does a traffic cone end up fourth in steals all time?
Right.
And what did I say? I
point.
said getting steals does not make you. I said AI led the league 3 times in steals. He will say to you himself, "I was a horrible defender."
Yeah.
He was,
and that's usually who everybody goes to. You know, with the Allen Iverson aspect of it, that's the only person you can really measure that situation from. So I don't know if getting steals does make you a great defender. Now, again, you being in the right place at the right time, you just have an eye for that type of aspect of it. But to lock somebody down defensively. No, Chris Paul is not that guy at this point in time in his career or whatever. I'm not sure if he ever was. Maybe he was, but no.
I'm gonna agree with Jay. Getting steals don't. I'm sorry, Dave. It just doesn't.
So I mean, at the same time, Michael Jordan, Jason Kidd, and John Stockton could all be considered subpar defenders. Because they're the 3 guys that are above. They're the 3 guys that are above them.
Different argument. You got to watch the games, bro. Like it's different. It's different.
You make like I don't watch games. I watch more games than you do.
Have you ever watched SportsCenter and saw somebody like go through the stats and say, you know, the Clippers or the Suns or whatever, or whoever team CP3 was on, and say CP3 really locked him down like tonight. Like tonight's like CP was locked in on the defensive end. What did you ever heard of that?
No. Okay, so let me rephrase that. Jeff, let me rephrase that. How do you make 9 all defensive teams?
From a team
by not being a good defender or no? Because I mean,
he got some legs there, Mike. 9 all defensive teams.
7 first teams, 2 second teams. 7 first teams, 2 second teams.
That's a lot.
It is. Can you answer
but I don't understand how.
Me either. I've never seen him lock nobody up. Correct, and a good defender. But also, your point to me was how is he 4th all time in steals? That don't mean nothing to me. Getting steals to make you a great defender.
Now you understand you understand that statistically too, in a basketball game, a steal is worth more than a block. A block, the ball can still go back to the same team. A steal means it's a turnover, right?
So you think getting steals makes you a great defender? That's what I was going to hear you say.
I think if a dude came onto my team and they said he was averaging 5 steals a game, he's starting.
5 steals a game, nobody's averaged that in life. Like that doesn't happen, bro.
That's not happening. That's a little eccentric.
Okay, let me rephrase. If I'm getting a rookie and somebody says, "Yo, he's gonna be 4th all time in steals," you pass over him because of. What?
I would say Chris Paul is a very good defensive player, not a very good defender.
Yes,
you're not. Okay, so he doesn't play a Bruce Bowen defense. All right, but he is certainly not a fucking cone.
They attacked him yesterday,
but he's not a good defender. But he's a very good defensive player.
Yeah.
He has to be.
Okay, is he a traffic cone? Does anyone here believe he's a traffic cone?
No, I don't believe that.
I mean, at 37, he is.
Talking about.
Yeah.
So look.
Go ahead, Jordan.
They're going to pull the receipts.
You hear the cash register? You hear the cash register ringing all night?
Don't worry.
You hear the cash register ringing, yo? Yeah.
I kind of agree where you say, well, steals doesn't make you a great defender. No. But I mean, I don't know how you make all defensive team 9 times.
9 times.
9 times.
You're not a good defender.
7 times first team.
I think he was. I think he was good for his position.
Yeah, I would say right. Like early in his years, I don't know. Like it's hard to just be a lockdown defender. Like we don't see too many real lockdown defenders. So like, let's just not say everybody who plays great defense locks shit up. Like nah, everybody who plays great defense don't just lock shit up. You got guys who really lock shit up who are absolutely great defenders. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Kawhi Leonard with the Spurs. That's the best defense That's the best defensive player I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Kawhi Leonard Spurs.
Fuck that nigga. Fuck him. Sorry.
But you feel me? So like not everybody just locks shit up. But to say that he don't play D or he's not a good defender, nah.
I think no. It's 2 different conversations. Right now, today, he got attacked because he's not a good defender.
Today he's getting cooked. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like But he's 37 and he's 6 foot. Like it's gonna happen now. You feel me?
Yeah.
He's gonna go. He should have been doing that shit. But
yeah, I agree with that. But nah, I was just saying, like, I've seen it for my whole like Steph Curry in the league is still before. He's a hard, but like getting the steals don't make you a great defender. That was my whole conversation today.
Yeah, it's a scheme situation, and even Steph will tell you. I think he had an interview that they tried to trick him into talking about like, yo, yeah, you know, you being such a good defender. He looked at them like, what, nigga? Like, what you talking about? Yeah, and like he knows how to get his hands in you know, passing lanes and things of that nature, deflect balls or whatever. But he'll be the first to tell you, I'm not a great defender. Like, come on.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's pick these series right now as we end this show. Let's start with you, James. Start with you all night. Who you got in the Heat Boston series, bro?
Ooh, I'm watching it right now, man. Oh man, this gonna be a good ass series. I am gonna take the Celtics. I think the Celtics.
How many games?
I might say 7 because I expect them to lose tonight. No Marcus Smart, no Al Horford. Don't know if Al Horford is even going to be back for game 2. He's in the health and protocol, whatever the situation is with him. Marcus Smart, they do expect to be back. I think the Celtics can win this series. Boy, it wouldn't surprise me for one either way, but the Celtics in 6.
All right, Jordan.
I got the Celtics in 7. I mean, they keeping up right now.
They up right now, yeah.
You know? I think the Celtics just have a little bit more when it comes to offensively in terms of their options. They have a few more options offensively that can go get their own shot than Miami does. So I like Boston at 7.
I want to hear what Jeff got to say on the series. What you got?
I got Boston and honestly. Jimmy went crazy in the last 2 series, but there was no real defenders on him. Philly had nobody for Jimmy. The Hawks had nobody for Jimmy. Now he going up against the team that I talked about having the best defensive rating all season. I definitely think the Celtics, and now the Celtics can score. Even without Marcus Smart, Derek White showed me he can shoot the 3, so he poses a threat now. Grant Williams poses a threat. They spaced the floor out, so I got the Celtics in 6.
Dave?
I got the Heat in 7. I think it's going to be a hard-fought series, possibly. This is probably going to be the best series we see in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. It's going to be Boston's defense. A lot of people sleep on Miami's D, but Miami's got pretty good defense, too. With Bam and PJ Tucker up front, it's really hard to score in that front court. They're going to make life hard for Robert Williams. Yeah,
Robert Williams ain't been playing, really. That's crazy.
I know, yo. He's playing now, but
not the normal minutes he's been playing.
No. I think they're trying to rest him. He was just coming back fresh off an injury. That's why. So he probably dialed his minutes back. But yeah, man. I think they're gonna make sure. I think as it goes down the line, it's gonna become a more physical series. But I think that Miami. I think Jimmy Butler has got a gear that Jason Tatum don't got yet. And I know, I hear it. But yeah, that's my pick. Heat in 7.
All right. I'm riding with the season till playoffs. I'm going with the season again. I'm gonna take the season 7. I think it will go 7, but I think I just think that they got too many scorers. And I think like the Heat go through them droughts. I said it with the Sixers, yo. The Heat go through these droughts where they're not scoring for 5, 6, 7 minutes at a time. And I feel like that Boston gonna capitalize on that. And I think Tatum's better than Jimmy, me personally. So I'm gonna go with the Celtics. Next series, I'll start with you this time, Dave. Golden State, Dallas.
Golden State, easy, bro. I mean, not gonna be easy. Sorry, it's not gonna be easy. Luka's gonna make them work for it. But I see them probably going down probably in 6.
What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, 6.
You know, I said I didn't think Dallas was that great of a team. Like I don't think they're that great. But just off of the greatness of Luka, the way that Golden State really looked against Memphis, I think it was more so they just didn't shoot the ball well. But, I mean, if they continue to not shoot the ball well, I think Luka's good enough to take them to 7 games. I think Golden State can win it.
7, okay.
But I think Luka, the way he's playing, I mean, 35, 10, and 8, that's like LeBron territory. Like Jeff said, that's LeBron territory.
You know what would be crazy? You know what's going to be crazy is if Luka beats up on Steph, and then Mike's going to have to do another one of these shows to come on here and say Steph is a bad player. That's gonna be funny as hell. I want tickets for that shit. Book me now, bro.
Jay,
If that happens.
Jay, who you got, man? Golden State. Jay, who you got, bro?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Golden State. Wouldn't surprise me if it was in 5, but it wouldn't surprise me if it wins probably 6 or 7 games either. But I'm gonna take Golden State in 6. I think Luka is good enough to get 2 for sure, and I think he might get 1 on the road. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he might take 1 on the road. And it wouldn't surprise me if they lost the first game. Again, if there's any hangover from that Memphis situation, I know they picked it up at the end or whatever. Obviously, going back home, but there could be a hangover. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Luka's on right now. I think they could shock the world and get game 1, and then really make the Warriors have to wake up. But I think the Warriors are taking it in 6 games.
Jeff, who you got?
I got the Warriors in 7. I think
7-2?
Luka will get at least 3 games. Honestly, I think he's that good of a player. He slows the pace down so the Warriors can't run that helter-skelter up and down the court. And even if he has to go for 50, 10, and 10, I mean, he's highly capable of it. And like you said, the Warriors, the size, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I want to watch the Draymond Green thing and how it plays out with him. He did get ejected last series. The NBA is known for throwing a few things around to kind of make things a little more interesting. But I think this will be the last time. The next couple championships, I think, might be like changing of the guard, some new players, Celtics and Doncic and things like that. But this year, the Warriors.
And I'll take Golden State in 6. I think they will be formidable, but I think Dallas is done. I think that Golden State's experience and history, they're gonna throw bodies at Luka, a lot. Jordan Poole will come off the bench and do some things. So I think that you're gonna wind up seeing Golden State in about 6. And I think Steph is due for a big night too. I think he's gonna have one as well. So I'm gonna go with Golden State in 6. So, but thank you. It's the end of the show. Thank you all for coming on. Thanks Jeff. I know you was mobile.
Appreciate the guest, man. Appreciate the guest.
100%.
Hey, Jason, man, we love to have you on anytime, man. Definitely good insight. Appreciate you coming to Dave with me. That was a lot of fun, stuff like that. So, and Jordan as well, always, man. I'm in the broadcast now, man. Thank you again, man. And Dave, I don't know where you at. You might be crying again, but
crying on me, yo. You're gonna cry in the car, right? Put that crying medium up for him again.
Hey, yo, Jay, come on for football, bro. Football season.
Yeah, football season.
Sure.
There you go, Dave. Hold on, I'm in the Dave.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, Dave, man, we're ending the funeral of the Suns right now. So I just want to thank you for coming on.
Pay our respects.
You're welcome, guys. Well, anytime, you guys. I love seeing the same crew out that came out for the Lakers and shit, and the Sixers, and the Hornets who never even had.
Oh damn!
And the Spurs who lost. And the Spurs who lost in the play-in. I appreciate all you guys.
Damn, I thought you forgot.
5 times.
I was gonna live.
5 times.
The Spurs like Booker T. 5-time champion.
5 times.
Yo,
what was the last chip? Yeah.
2014.
Anyway.
Your 9-year-old glory. Your glory expired, bro.
All right. Back to football, like they said, man. And we'll see you guys next time. I'm going to watch this game.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Later, homies. Peace.
All right, y'all.
All right, man. Peace.